Hey there. Feeling inspired to share a video here about 3 tips and tools that I'm finding to be instrumental right now to help us self-soothe and self-regulate during this pretty wild and challenging time. And I've been using these tools with myself every day and with my clients. One thing I would just want to name here is that I can't tell you how many mornings I've woken up and thought, oh, thank God, it was just a bad dream. Like, this didn't really happen. This isn't happening. And all of a sudden it hits me and I realize, oh no, this is real. This is happening right now. Like, I think I'm still in shock. I wonder if you are too, but I still feel like this part of me is still in shock and denial that this is even real right now. And I think the other thing I'd share, and I think this is why these self-soothing tools are so essential right now, is that each week I have this experience where I feel like I finally get grounded. I finally am like, okay, Juna, you got this. You went into the store, you bought all the things you needed, you feel like you know what's going on in the news, you're aware of what's happening on the planet, and then all of a sudden, over the course of the week, as things just continue, the numbers start to go up in all sorts of areas of the world and in the United States, and family fear and collective fear starts to increase. I suddenly feel like I just go over the edge, and it feels like the rug has been swept out from under me and I've lost my footing. And each week it kind of startles me. Wait, I'm such a grounded person. I've got this. But it just overwhelms my system, and I continue to get flooded and overwhelmed with all that's happening. So if you're in the same boat as me, and this has been your experience, you're not alone, number one. This is hard. This is like seriously intense stuff. I had a panic attack a few nights ago, and just let myself feel it. I was like, of course some of us are having panic attacks right now. Of course some of us are just like really overwhelmed with all of this. This is a lot. Never in my lifetime, never in all of our lifetimes have we experienced anything quite like this. So just a big dose of compassion out there. And, we all need to come back to the basics of these tools right now to help us stay grounded and regulated. And once you think you got it, it's going to be important to come back to the tools, because unfortunately things are just going to continue to escalate, especially over these next many weeks all around the world. So tool number one, this one is so obvious but very essential, is breathing. And, when we're afraid, we tend to take these short, shallow little breaths. So a deep and slow inhale and exhale. And a lot of times I'll count to 4 on the inhale and exhale. So let's go ahead and all take a deep breath right now. So this is so huge. And what deep breathing does, is it engages our parasympathetic nervous system and can help soothe the fight, flight, and freeze response. And that is huge. It's so instrumental in helping us come back into the body. Step number 2 is to name your body's sensations. And again, this is a profound tool just to help you get landed again. Because when we are in fear, we're in that fight, flight, freeze response. We're not in the present moment. We're out ahead in the future, worrying, feeling anxiety, trying to plan. So we need to come back into our bodies to self-soothe. So starting just to name, okay, without judgment, there's some tension in my chest. There's some tingly feelings and some tightness in my jaw. There's like a twisting sensation in the very center, kind of below my heart. And there's some softening and a little bit of warm, tingly sensations in my low belly. So just naming whatever is here without judgment. And alongside deep breathing, both of those things will help you get landed. And then step number 3, which I find to be truly a game changer with myself and my clients, is to place a hand on your body, somewhere maybe where you feel the most amount of tension or trigger, taking those deep breaths. And then just imagine that there's a little girl in there or a little boy in there who's feeling a lot, who's really overwhelmed. and make contact with your inner child, with that younger version of you. And just like you would if you have a child, how would you hold that child? And just start with making contact with them in your imagination. Holding them, sitting next to them, holding their hand. And then when you feel ready and you feel maybe a little more connected to that inner child, ask them a question. What do you most want to say right now? What are you feeling right now? What do you most need from me right now? And be willing to hear anything that this inner child shares with you. And sometimes they might communicate with words that you kind of can sense or hear or feel. Sometimes it might be an image, might be a feeling. Just open to whatever arises. And then every time I've done this 3-step practice with myself, with my clients, the end result is that we feel just a little bit more connected to ourselves and a little bit lighter, like some of that anxiety has moved. I had a client last week who shared, oh my gosh, it's been like 7 to 10 days where I felt like I've been in that amygdala hijack. I've just been totally freaked out, on the brink of having a panic attack. And I've been cleaning everything and, fixing everything in the house, getting it all sorted and feeling a sense of control in my outer world, but no control in here. And this is a way that we come back into a safe place in here. And what she shared was kind of the game changer for her once she made contact with her inner little girl. She just shared with her, we're going to be okay. We are going to be okay. And this whole experience, this is going to pass. And we're going to be just fine. And those 2 sentences kind of were really profound for her. So again, I offer this in the hopes that this is of support to you. This has been really kind of the game-changing tools for me to come back to again and again. And I feel humbled through this whole experience on how much we really need these tools to help us really come in our bodies during this challenging time. And I'm humbled also with how much we need each other right now. So I wish you well. I'm sending so much love to all of you. Thank you for being here.